I'll grab the glass. The glass I'm using is a sheet of 2mm. I like getting the longest measure out of the way first. Another thing I do is I use a non-slip mat to put my ruler on. I'm going to go a 1/16 under that, or a mil under whatever size it comes up in metric. Glass cutter, and then move it so the blade of your glass cutter is actually on those marks. And move your ruler up to it. That's pretty darn good. One good score. Give it a tap. And that should do it. And it does. I'll save that bit for another project. Now, all things being equal, this should fit into the frame. There we have it. See the studio lights. Now what I want to do is stain this. And what I'm going to use is Van Dyke crystals. And for me, it's one of the nicest colours you can get. And it occurred to me the other day, you know when you see furniture and it's, oh, walnut colour. Well, it's not the colour of walnuts at all, but what they're actually referring to is the Van Dyke crystals. That warm brown, that comes from the stain that they make from the crushed walnut husks. So, there you go. And it's water soluble. The recommendation is you put it in hot water, but I've had no problems dissolving it in cold water. And you can put it on. You can get so many different colours, browns. If you have a diluted solution of only a few granules in there, you get a very, very pale brown. If you put a lot on, you get a lot more brown. If you want it darker, you put a second coat on. And the great thing is after a week or so, if you haven't put a finish over the top and you don't like the colour, run it under a tap and the colour washes off and you can start again. All right, so where is it? Here we go. And then, honestly, it really is so nice. And being water soluble, of course it's non-toxic. So I'm putting a fair amount on. I might put 2 or 3 coats on. The first coat, a lot of times you'll find it might burr up, and that's something with the oil stains that you get. You've got to wet your job down several times first, because when you put that stain on it, the timber will rise, and when you rub it back, you lose the colour. Whereas this, when I rub it back, it really doesn't matter. I just give it another coat. Whenever you're staining too, remember to do all over. Sometimes you forget little bits and then you put the finish on and you go, oh, crikey, it's going to show through. Well, from experience, I know that's going to take 2 more coats. So I'll do that, oil it, shellac it, put it together, and then you can see the finished article. All right, got all the coats of Van Dyke crystals on. I've waxed it and finished it basically. So I'm just putting the pins in, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Now just put the chain on. Bit of chain. And now the great unveiling. And I've got to say, I'm pretty happy with that. Now that is all done with 3 hand planes. It's not the cabinet, by the way, it's just the frame. Now the finishes I used to get this antique look, if you can remember what it looked like about a day before I actually stained it and polished it, I've used Van Dyke crystals, which are crushed walnut husks, and that gave me the beautiful brown. And then I sealed that with raw linseed oil. Then I gave it a coat with Libron De-Wax Blonde shellac. Gave it a couple of coats of that. Then I rubbed it back with Libron 4.0 steel wool. And if it sounds like an ad for Libron, it possibly is, because I really enjoy their products, especially for restoration or furniture making. And then it was polished with Black Bison, and I think this was Georgian mahogany. And to give it a really aged look in the corners, I used one of their effects waxes, which is black wax. And what that actually does, it mimics hundreds of years of built up dirt and grime. You just put it into the corners or into these little areas here, along here especially, because that's where the dust is going to settle. Then you buff it all off and you're left with little dark splotches that really give it that aged look. So I hope you have a go at making a picture frame. Easy peasy with 3 planes and a lot of practice. So what did I say before? 3 planes and some brains. Now I'm going to take this up and put it up in the house, so we might as well go up there, because this is going to be on the wall of Room for Woodwork. And very soon on Room for Woodwork, I'm going to do a 6-sided picture frame with only 1 plane. So I hope you check that out too. So in the meantime, this is Steve pulling the shed door down, saying remember to keep it sharp, but more importantly, keep it safe, enjoy your woodwork, and just go for it. Bye for now. And there it is, hanging up in pride of place behind the bench in my woodworking room in the bedroom, and the set for A Room for Woodwork. And I must say I'm very, very happy with that.